سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما.
Very good sohbet. And you were talking about socializing. And if you can please explain to us and let us know about the importance of visiting each other as Muslims in creating and making stronger Muslim community.
Jamad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Jamad. What is a Jamad? Why is it important? Jamad is an order by Allah and His Prophet ﷺ. If it is an order, then we must do it. Goodness will come from obeying that order. Evil and badness will come when you disobey those orders. The first Jamaat, the Sahabe Kiram, obeying and following the Holy Prophet ﷺ, not just individually, but with each other. That maybe they are not related to each other, they're not from the same tribe, not from the same class. Some, they are not from the same race. And the Prophet ﷺ, through his teachings and through his orders, instructing them and guiding them in how to become not just a Jamaat, a community, but a group of brothers. That they are connected to each other in the strongest way possible. And the strongest and most important connection is the connection that is not from this earth, that has a beginning and has an end, that is passing and weak. That is not about your color, about your nationality, about your social class, about your tribe, about your race. It is about the spirit. What is it about the spirit? Everyone has spirit, yes? But some, they are making the spirit to overtake the ego. And the spirit overtaking the ego and obeying the orders of Allah and His Prophet ﷺ. Then they form a good community, obedient community, working through the challenges of this dunya, trying to find answers. We're not talking about perfect community. It's not about perfection. It's not about this Western concept, utopia. Are you crazy? You're looking for perfection in this dunya? Who is saying? Which prophet is saying? This, don't you know this dunya? As Shaykh Effendi says, this is a toilet. When Adam alayhi salam, he took from the forbidden fruit and his stomach was rumbling and he had to pass the dirtiness that is coming from that disobedience and also from the forbidden fruit that he ate. They say, go down to earth and use the earth as a toilet. Simple understanding. There is a place of toilet, place of exile. There is a prison. This is dirty. How many more ayats we need? From the Quran, from the holy words of Allah that is revealed through different prophets, that is saying this dunya, yalan dunya, a lying dunya, and it is dirty, and it is your enemy. So anything that connects us from this dunya, it is not to be trusted. But that connection, it is coming from a reality before this dunya, and a reality that is going to exist after this dunya. Hold on to it, and that is called the spirit. And you are connected to each other then, to obey Allah and to come closer to Allah by taking the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ and the awliya Allah. Then you build this Jamaat. So it has a purpose. How important is it? The importance of a neighbor, let alone Jamaat, a neighbor in Islam, It is so important that the Prophet ﷺ says, when I went to the Miraj, and Jibreel ﷺ was reminding me to remind my nation about the rights of the neighbor so much that I was thinking the rights of the neighbor, I was going to think. I'm paraphrasing. It says, it is as if the rights of the neighbor is more important than the rights of my own family and blood relations. So now we know a Jamaat is not necessarily your family or your blood relations. It is outside of that. Outside of things that make you to become close in this world. Blood, family ties, race, culture, blah, blah, blah. There is something else that is there. So I use the word, because we were talking more casual, I use the word socialization, but meaning you must learn how to become friendly with other believers. I don't mean socialization in any other modern context. How believers now, especially those living in the West, especially those living in America, they have lost the skill to be able to make friends, keep friends, live with friends, and to die with friends. You know, that's why the TV series Friends is so popular, because it's such a fiction, it's such a myth. Everybody hopes and wishes, but they don't have. Especially those living in the cities. You don't know how to make friends. You don't know how to keep it. You don't know how to maintain it. And if you have friendship, what is it based on? If it's based on things that is from this dunya, which is, we share same interest in food, in music, in this, all of that is nonsense. It will fall too. Because the spirit is the most important thing. If there is no connection with the spirit, one against the other, all these things are just going to be cursed. So, the importance now of a believer to be in a Jamaat is not just to exist in a Jamaat. It's not just for your body to be here and there, but for your heart to be there, together with your body. That now you are going to treat each other in the way that is closest to you, like your own blood relative, your brother. That means you laugh with them, yes, you cry with them, you help them, you care for them, you think about them. Because each other, now our aim is Allah and the Prophet ﷺ. Our aim is following the footsteps of our Shaykh now. The aim is not just to be friends because we like each other or because we share the same interests. The aim is because both of us are running to serve this way better. And we can help each other because I need to run in this way. Sometimes it's not so easy. That you have somebody on your right, somebody on your left to hold on to you when the going gets tough, when shaitan is attacking you, when your ego is attacking you. And in these days, the most thing that they attack you with is to say, ego is saying, shaitan is saying, as he said thousands of years ago, you are alone. No, we're not alone. Only Allah is alone. You are unique. It is you against the world against you. Nobody understands you. It is to separate. When you're not part of that flock, even if you're the strongest one, you separate from that flock. Easy for the wolf to get you, your ego to get you, shaitan to jump on you. But even if you're the weakest one, but you're together with the Jamaat, and you make bonds and ties with each other, you care for each other. You're not just there going up and down, eating, drinking, but you don't know who is on the right, who is on the left. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't care for them. You don't know what their life is. This is not how the Sahaba Kiram lived. This is not how the Tabi'in lived. This is not the Tabi. This is not the way that our predecessors, they live. When you don't care, even if you are here physically, there's no real tie. There's no real bond. You're not a Jamada. So we're trying to build something that is sincere. How else are you going to practice the principles of our order? How else are you going to practice now the principles of Islam, Iman and Ihsan? How? How are you going to practice? You cannot practice it properly if you're not married. Finish, number one, correct? Because marriage is half of your deen, half of your religion. Man who is not married, doesn't matter what he is, he's still very selfish. He doesn't know what it means to sacrifice and to care for others who are weaker than him. Because sometimes it's in the nature of man, someone who is weak, they dominate. Yes? Now you have someone who is weaker than you. Not someone, a few. They are weaker than you, but you have to take care of them. Marriage, now half. Okay. Now you're married now. Now you're saying, don't start worshiping just your family, just your dynasty, just your tribe. That is wrong. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us into different nations so that you can find, you must find each other and you must learn from each other. So you may come, you may get married, you may have children, you're taking care of them, but you decide this now is my little tribe. The other one. Whose sunnat is that? Are the Sahabis behaving that way? Tabi'ins are behaving that way? They are not. Now this is difficult for us to understand because we live in a country and in a time where everyone is independent. Especially we live in a time where you don't need each other. But for thousands of years, neighbors live next to each other. They're forced to be sociable, to be nice, to be good, to care for each other because life is so tough. Today I help you. Tomorrow I may need your help. We cannot afford to push other people away because you need them to survive. And when you are in need, you become humble. Humble is not to sit like a bird, and sweet, weak voice. No. Humble is understanding that you are not strong, you are in need. And you will go to those ones to ask for support. And because you ask for support and you are weak, that time you'll look to others and you say, this one is weak. I know how that feels because I am weak. What do I have? This little bit I will share also. Because to be in that situation where you are weak and you don't have support, I understand it is a very bad situation. So some people, they may be very humble, but they don't have a heart. They don't care. Do you understand? They may be very nice, soft-spoken, but they don't care for people. They'll make fun of people. So you have to fix these eyes, how to look properly, because now it's so easy to fool people. Because they say, humbleness from the outside must look like this. As long as you have these things from the outside, all says you're humble. Proudness is like this. If you have all these proud characteristics from the outside, therefore inside is the same. No. Outside can be different. Inside can be completely different. We know so many people who are nice and humble, but they're actually so arrogant and so uncaring. And we know people who are looking outside rough and tough, but inside they are don't make a show. So how supposed to be? Each other, help each other. In fact, Allah is saying, what's wrong with you? That you are not helping each other. So simple. And I actually saw that ayat, some Christians even put it outside because they like some, their heart's more open. They take ayat al-Karimah and they say, it's so simple. What is wrong with you? That you don't help. You're not human because Allah has put that human quality inside everyone, regardless of their religion, their color. Suffering, not only just a person, but an animal, or any living creature, or non-living according to our understanding. But Allah is Hayy and Qayyum, and He does not create anything that does not have any life. It's just a life that we don't understand, a life that is to our life. That when you see something that Allah has created, and it is suffering, and it is in destruction, that coming from the divine part of you, you will rush to help. So many, they have lost that. Muslims have lost it. Christians have lost it. So many. And now the world is seeing the events that is unfolding here and there. And those with faith, they are watching. Now this is not about religion anymore. This is about right and wrong. And you see, although, for example, the situation in Gaza, it is not about religion anymore. It's not about even politics anymore. This is about humanity. Now you see Muslims caring and Muslims not caring. We say, oh, the Christians, they're not Muslims, they don't care. So many Christians, they care. We're so easy. They don't care. We see so many Jews, they're caring. So now this is something that, like what our Shaykh had said in the Ahir Zaman. This is, world is not going to be divided between the lines of religion anymore. It's going to be about haq and batil. Those who are standing for truth and those who are standing for tyranny, untruth. May Allah always keep us on the side of truth, inshallah. Ameen. So building that community, that's the first thing the Prophet ﷺ did. To build that community. Yes? Jamada. It's the first thing he did. You think it was easy? It wasn't. How much the Sahabis, they have to put aside everything that they have picked up and learned or taught, throw it all out and to receive the new things from the Prophet ﷺ. Yes? Now, those who are trying to follow in that footsteps, we must try to do the same, inshallah. Step by step. Wa ala Allahi tawfiq al-Fatiha.